This tutorial demonstrates how to set up a paper in a correct APA 7th edition format. For this example, I'm using Office 365, but most word processing software will have the same or similar menus. The first thing you'll want to do is to change your font if you wish to do that. There is no required font style and size for APA format as long as the font is legible and it is the same throughout the paper. So the default format for Office 365 is Calibri size 11. I'm fine with that, so I'm just going to leave it as is. Next, I'm going to check my margins. So I'm going to click on Layout up here and then go over to this margin setting, and you will see there is a series of different margin settings you can choose. By default in Office 365 it is set to a 1-inch margin all the way around, which is the margin setting you want to use for APA style. If it's set to something else, you can just click on normal and it will put it at a 1-inch margin. Next, I am going to make sure that my paper is double spaced all the way through. So to do that, I will stay in the Layout tab. I will go over here to where I see 3 dots that say More Options, and click on Paragraph Options. And here I see there is a setting for line spacing that I can adjust and change to double. Click on OK, and that way your paper will be double spaced the whole way through. Now I want to insert a page number. So to do that, I'm going to go over here where it says Insert and click on that. And then over here you will see page numbers. And if you click on that, you'll see options for where on the page you want the page number to be. So click on the third option that puts the page number on the right side of the header. And once you see this, you can just click back down into the actual window where your paper is. And when you print the paper or you save it, you will see that it has a page number on the top of every page. Next, we want to create our title page. So in order to do that, we're going to have to enter the paper's title, the author's name, and some more information. To do that, you want to make sure that all of that is centered on the first page. So in order to center the text, we actually want to go to the Home tab and go right here where we see a little icon that's just a series of lines. That is the text alignment option, and so when you click on that, you will see that it is by default set to be left aligned. Click on that middle option that says Align Center. Your cursor is going to move to the middle of the page, and that's how you know it is centrally aligned. Now we go to create our title page, and the first thing you want to do is enter down 3 or 4 lines from the top of the page to put your title there in about the top middle. Then you will go up here and click on this big B icon, and that will make your text bold, and you want the title of your paper only to be bold. So here I am going to type whatever the title of my paper is, and you do want to make sure you give that paper a title that is related to the topic of your paper. Then you can press enter another 2 to 3 times just to space it out a little more, and on the next line you're going to put your name. You would also put the name of any other people who worked on this paper with you if it is a group project. After that, press enter just 1 time, and you want to enter the department and the institution that the paper is for. So let's say, for example, that this is a paper for my English 1100 class. On this line I would type Department of English, Columbus State Community College. So obviously, depending on your class, you will type Department of Biology, Department of History, etc. Enter down once more from there and put the actual title of your course. So for that, I would put English 1100. Enter down again, and you will put the name of your instructor, so that is Dr. Smith, Dr. Jones, Mr. Anderson, whatever your instructor goes by, just put their name there. And on the last line of the title page, you're going to put the paper's due date. So whatever, not the day that you happen to be working on it, not the day that it is right now when you're making your title page, but the actual due date of the paper. So let's just say that is today, July 25th, 2022. Okay, that is your title page. So now I'm just going to press the enter key until I get to a new page, and here you can see I've crossed over this line here, so I am on the next page of the paper. I will go up here and fix my alignment so that it is back on the left side of the paper. And then you'll push tab once to indent your first paragraph and start typing your paper here. You will just continue typing, going straight through until you reach the end of your paper. You do not have to change any other settings until you are finished writing the body of the paper. When you are done at the end of the paper, of course, you need to have a references page. So in order to do that, no matter where your paper ends, if it's at the very last line or even if it's only over onto the very first line of the new paper, you want to enter down until you are on a fresh sheet of paper, uh, as it's here on your word processor. And again, we want to do that center align, so we can enter just the word references on the top of that page. Enter down again and then change your alignment back to left align to start putting in your citations. So now we want to start entering our actual citations. And if you have a citation that you have copied and pasted from one of the library databases, you can actually paste that here just by pushing Control and V at the same time on your keyboard. And if you don't remember that, it's easy because you can right click and then click on paste, and it'll actually tell you the key combination for that. And that is if you are on a Windows computer. If you're on a Mac, it's just going to be Command V instead. But like I said, if you right click, it'll tell you what to push to paste it. We do want to make sure that our citation matches the text of the rest of the paper. So you know how I set this at Calibri size 11? Down here we see that this pasted in Helvetica size 10 because that was the font style where I copied it. So we can just go up here, and actually first we want to click and drag to highlight the citation we pasted. Go up here and click on the font name and change it to the same font and font size that the rest of your paper is in so that it matches. It also looks like this, sometimes it will paste a different color. If you can tell, this actually pasted a light gray instead of black. That might be easier to see when it's printed out. But just highlight it, and then an option will come up where you can change the color of the text right here, font color. Just change that to black. Now, this is a shorter citation, so it only takes up one line. So I've entered that in, and then I can just simply push the enter key one time, and I will be ready to enter another citation. What do we do if we have a citation that takes up more than one line? I am going to go on and paste this citation, and here you will see it takes up a few lines. So first of all, I'm going to change my font so that it matches, just like I did before. And then I'm going to set a hanging indent, and what that does is it indents all the lines that come after the first line. In order to create that hanging indent, I am first going to go and click at the beginning of the second line of that citation, and then I'm going to click on layout up here at the top. And you will see, just like we did earlier, a 3-dot icon that will give you more options, and you can click on paragraph options. Now before we clicked over here to change the spacing to double. Now we're going to go here under indentation, and we have an option that says special. Click on that, click on hanging, and then click OK. And as you can see, we now have indented the second and third lines of that citation. When you click at the end of that and enter to create your next citation, it will be reset to be left aligned. So if I paste another citation that is also more than one line, I will have to set that indent again. One other thing to point out here is that I have pasted my citations out of order. You want them to be in alphabetical order starting with the first word in the citation. So in this case, R comes after D. All I'm going to do is click on this and press Control C to copy, and then go on and paste it down here where it should be, and just backspace to delete it so that now those are in order. And you can do that no matter how many citations you have. Just put them all in order based on the first letter that appears in the citation. That is all that you need to know, and hopefully following these instructions you'll be able to easily format your paper and get it ready to turn in APA 7th edition style. Thank you.